Hello everyone, my name is Griffin and we are back with another reaction video. We are reacting once again to another Isaac Butterfield video. His shirt. Isaac Butterfield, proper noun. He's a racist, homophobic, ableist, misogynist, fatphobic, attention-seeking, morally bankrupt pig of a man. It's apparently an actual TikTok comment. Oh my god, that's so stupid. This video is called Toxic Masculinity in 5-year-old Boys? How do 5-year-old boys have toxic masculinity is not a thing. They're toxic people, but masculinity in and of itself is not toxic.
G'day ladies and gentlemen, my name's Isaac Butterfield and unfortunately this is a serious video. I know, but someone needs to talk about this. I've been saying for years, and so have a lot of other people, that the demonization of men is leading to extreme levels of loneliness. It's growing the numbers of men suffering from addiction and leading to the horrifying stats of men ending it all. All of that begins with teaching little boys, young men, that they are the problem. Not that they are part of the problem, that they are the problem. Because of the way that they were born, the way that their body is mapped out, what they have between their legs, that dictates that they are a problem. And I just assumed that it would silently become worse and worse. But no, that's not what happened, not silently at all. Before we go any further, this video is brought to you by the great people at Bon Charge. Bon Charge is a holistic video. Have a go at this. The government has announced a new trial to crack down on toxic male culture. Boys as young as 5 will be taught about healthy relationships and masculinity. The government will teach you what healthy masculinity looks like. How about fuck off? Mate, I am fucking off governments from all over the world getting their hands on everything. Fuck off. Who are these faceless people that get to decide what healthy masculinity looks like? You don't fucking know shit, mate. And I tell you what, if the people
If the government, who can't even take care of themselves, who can't even take care of their own country that they're supposed to be taking care of, think that they can teach this sort of shit to kids? No, like he said, fuck off. Leave kids alone. Let kids be kids. Let kids figure out shit themselves. Now, if there's a genuine problem going on with your kid, fucking address it. It is your job as a parent to address your fucking kids. It is not the job of the government to weasel their way into education and into kids, to tell them what they should and should not know and should not do. Government can barely take care of its fucking self. This is so fucking stupid. Leave kids alone.
I assume are going to be the ones that decide what is healthy and what is not healthy masculinity, then I can just tell you right now that the next generation, much like this generation of men, is real fucked. Talking about shit men, this t-shirt, a fantastic t-shirt, this was a real TikTok comment left. A racist, homophobic, ableist, misogynist, fatphobic, attention-seeking, morally bankrupt pig of a man. Get the Isaac Butterfield t-shirt. It's available in Australia and America and all over the world. And guess what? If you're in the US, we now have a distributor in America, so you don't have to pay exorbitant fees for shipping. Congratulations. Head to isaacbutterfield.shop. Yeah. Now back to the very serious video after that very serious merch plug. The government's announced a program to crack down on toxic male culture and help young men develop positive masculinity. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? That's this whole do the right thing shit. Okay. What's positive masculinity then? Name it. Name exactly what it is. And I guarantee you the vast majority of men are already doing that shit. This generation of men right now, we're not doing what our fathers and grandfathers did, all right? We are, across the board, much better people. Sorry, that's probably a harsh truth, but on average, much better people. We're doing that positive shit. But yet, you still blame every single man for anything wrong that a man does in the world. Fuck you, you fucking goose. It follows concerns about influence of misogynic online personalities such as Andrew Tate, who has perpetrated violence against women. Well, Allegedly, he has. I mean, I don't think he's overly a great dude, but allegedly he has. A recent survey of high school students in Victoria and New South Wales found that 25% of teenage boys look up to Tate, who had his Instagram shut down by Meta in 2022. Yeah, like that means that he's a bad person. He has his Instagram shut down. Whatever. Mate, people listen to Andrew Tate, and Shoe on Head put this perfectly. People listen to people like Andrew Tate because there's no one else talking to them. Everyone else is saying you're doing the wrong thing just by existing. No wonder. No fucking wonder.
Yeah. and it's sad, every time there's somebody that talks to these men, they instantly get labeled as someone that's misogynistic, toxic masculinity, and they get shut down. Now, like he said, overall Tate is probably not the best guy to listen to. There are some things he says that is correct, and a lot of things that he says that's probably bullshit. But overall, a lot of these men have nobody to look up to or nobody to talk to. And here comes along people like Tate who are talking to these guys, and they look up to Tate because he's talking to them. He's not telling all these guys that everything is your fault. It's all because of you. All men are evil. No. And then when people like Tate come around telling these men that they're not that all the world's problems are not because of you, they instantly get shut down because they're seen as toxic masculinity or misogynistic. I will say this till the day I die. There is no such thing as toxic masculinity. There's no such thing as toxic femininity. Femininity and masculinity in and of themselves are not toxic. There are toxic people who can be masculine or feminine. People are toxic. Masculinity and femininity are not. Get that through your thick heads.
Domestic violence in Australia. This slide is very important because domestic violence is horrific, right? It should never happen. Any man who lays his hands on a woman is a huge piece of shit and should be fucking locked up for life. In the same vein, any woman who does it is also a huge piece of shit. The trial forms the government's 10-year plan, which is hilarious when a government does a 10-year plan because they're only ever in fucking power for 4 to 8 years. Anyway, to end violence against women and children in a generation. 1 in 3 Australian women over 15 have experienced violence. Horrific, right? No one's fucking disputing that. Young women 18 to 34 are 3 times more likely than older women to have experienced intimate partner violence in the last 12 months, and within Indigenous communities it's much, much higher, which they didn't put there because that would pretty much go against what their sort of the whole, anyway, whatever. We're not even going to get into that. We're not even going to get into that. Now, the Social Service Minister here in Australia, Amanda Rishworth, says research, what research? Care to show it, shows strong links between harmful forms of masculinity, what is a harmful form of masculinity, and the perpetration of violence against women.
Yeah, it's like he's been showing this. They always say harmful masculinity, positive masculinity, toxic masculinity, and then when you ask him, what evidence can you show that there is, what is positive masculinity? What is toxic masculinity? What is a harmful form of masculinity? They can't show it. Because it is not a thing. Because they know in their, if they think logically, they know that masculinity is not toxic. It's just masculinity. They can't say that because then they have no platform for people to stand on anymore.
Now, all of this comes in the wake of a young woman, 21 years old, in Sydney, being murdered by a dude. I don't even know if she dated him. Like, I know they dated for like a couple of weeks, but didn't properly date. Just some fucking lunatic. Absolute crazy lunatic. Bludgeoned her to death. I think it was with a hammer. Like, fuck, that is fucking horrific. But what happens? Who is blamed? Well, the dude gets blamed for a couple of days. And then the conversation turns to the real perpetrators, men and masculinity, which just happens to be 50% of the entire fucking world. And the questions that get thrown around are, when are men going to stop doing this? When will men learn? When is enough for men to stop? Mate, we agree with you. Let me speak on all fucking men. We agree. It's terrible. It shouldn't happen. I wouldn't do it. I don't think many of you would do it. I hope not, and if you would do it, if you've ever hit your missus, fuck off. You're not fucking welcome here, you Men don't kill anyone. Murderers kill people. See the difference? Masculinity can be amazing. It has built the world we live in, right? If you think that femininity did that, you're kidding yourself. But masculinity can also be horrific. Look at all the wars, past, present, and future, all caused by men. If you cannot harness your masculinity and be taught how to use it correctly, then you're going to turn into a real piece of shit. And my argument is, when the Australian government goes to teach men how to use masculinity, or teach boys rather, how to use masculinity correctly, it's going to end up as a clusterfuck. But people will always want something to blame. Every time a man kills a woman, we want to blame masculinity in men. It's much like after the Columbine shooting in America, horrific mass shooting, one of the first that we really paid attention to. People wanted to blame Marilyn Manson and music and violent video games. When someone is killed by their partner, we want to blame men and masculinity. We need someone to blame. It makes us feel better, okay? Okay? Did I just say okay? Okay? Okay. But who it doesn't help are the victims and the young people, or the old people, the men who haven't done anything wrong. It's like, imagine if a dog attacked someone down the road and you just kicked your dog. You just fucking booted it because someone else's dog attacked someone. Is that fair? No, of course it's not. It's fucking shit. And that's what you're doing to young men every time you say that masculinity is toxic. Every single time. It's like a boot right in the gut, because there's nothing we can do about it. We are masculine people. That is the whole fucking essence of the word. This story was
It is pretty horrible that we don't just blame the person that did it. Like the guy who bludgeoned the girl to death. Just blame him. Blame that person. He's the one that did it. He committed the crime. He's the psychotic idiot. But no, these women and these media have to go and blame the entirety of the male population, even though they had nothing to do with the crime that was committed. What logical sense in this reality does that make any sense? It doesn't. One person committed the crime. One. Not half the fucking population of the earth. It makes no logical sense in any way, shape, or form to blame 50% of the population for one person that committed a crime.
Thrown around everywhere. It wasn't just in that Instagram post. This is from news.com. Extremist influencers. Australia throws $3.5 million at Tate problem. Andrew Tate is who they're referring to. Experts in adolescent development have spoken out about a little-known $3.5 million Australian government plan to stop an emerging generation of toxic males. Here they come! Watch out! Yeah, a generation of toxic men may be on the way. It may be emerging, but I would argue that it is because they have been told from the first time they could understand that they're a boy, that being a boy is a bad thing. It is a bad trait. The innovative project will tackle the insidious impact of social media messaging targeting young men and boys. What about the insidious shit that targets young girls? Like, whatever. With the primary aim of eradicating gender stereotypes. There will always be gender stereotypes because stereotypes, I'm sorry to say this, are usually quite accurate. Perpetrated online and promoting a culture of respect and supportive relationship among peers. It sounds good in theory, I just think it won't work. Now, some of the scholars involved in this discussion had this to say. We also challenge the assumption that boys need to only hear from other men about how to develop positive masculinity. Sorry, ladies. Fucking not your race, babe. Not your fucking race. And note that the inclusion of only male role models in healthy masculinity programs are not backed by robust evidence, they wrote. Okay, let's talk about the evidence. That would be helpful. It's not in there. But let's reverse that, shall we? Let's just pretend for a second that these people are saying, Isaac Butterfield, me, I'm going to teach women how to be feminine. Would you have a problem with that, ladies? Would you have a problem? You'd probably have a problem with it.
It's funny, a lot of these things talk about the evidence and research, and yet they don't cite their evidence or research. So how are we supposed to believe you if we can't see your evidence or research? And yeah, it's dumb. If you want boys or men to learn about masculinity, you have to have them taught by other men, because only men know about masculinity. You can't have a woman come in and teach about masculinity when she has no fucking idea about masculinity because she's not a man. It's in the same vein, like he said, you can't have a man come and teach women about femininity because he's not a woman. He knows nothing about femininity because he's not fucking female. These people, they don't have a logical thinking brain. They don't think these things through. For supposedly being smart people, they're very fucking stupid.
Rightfully so. Why? Because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Ladies, stay in your lane. Although, you know, some women probably would have good things to say, helpful things, perhaps, to say about masculinity. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that you probably don't know what the fuck you're talking about. My worry is that a lot of young men will be taught how to be men by women. And the evidence, I don't want to go into the single parent household thing, like, because there's a lot of shit that happens with that as people age.
Nothing to mow about.
Just look at that. If you're just living with a single mother and you don't have any male role model in your life, sometimes shit goes wrong. That's all I'll say. I don't want to start a big fucking debate about that, but sometimes it does. They argued boys benefit from interacting with individuals of diverse gender identities and at all lifestyles. I agree. Learn from everyone, but also there's two genders. And then there's this from the very progressive publication Pedestrian. The government is launching a program aimed at stamping out toxic male culture, and it's about time, hey? What a great journalistic standard you hold. Oh, you got a nice photo of Andrew Tate saying, oh, fuck. Their article is a carbon copy of the one from news.com. I guess everyone just gets sent these and they just fucking upload them because they're all part of the same fucking organization. Anyway, the fact of the matter is this. Here are some masculine traits. Being strong, being powerful, being tough. These are good things. Using it for good is also a masculine trait. Other masculine traits include being helpful, being caring. You see a dog hit by a car, you pull over, you help that fucking dog. Cooking for your family, little shit like that. Helping your wife, helping your partner clean up, sharing the load, 50-50. They are masculine traits. Sorting your shit out, leaving the planet better than when you found it. That's a masculine trait. Just because you're born male doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't. You're not. You're just fucking not. You might just need to work out how to fucking use it. You are not inherently toxic or evil, but you may become that if you fail. That is the important lesson here. But it's your role, as a man, young or old, to make sure that that doesn't happen. To make sure that you become a good man, a good masculine person, and eventually a good role model. Fucking do not fuck that up. I just can't see the government telling boys and men how to be boys and men ending good, ending well, ending positively. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to know your thoughts, because this really does follow on from that topic the other week about why men start to listen to people like Andrew Tate, because no one else is talking to them. Everyone else is telling them they're a problem. One dude comes along and says that they're good, that masculinity is good. They're gonna fucking listen. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Go grab the t-shirt. Fund my Christmas spending. Be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Big sticks.
Fund my Christmas spending. What are you doing, yo girl? Huh? Coming to say hi to everybody. Come on, say hi. Say hi. You're my little girl. Anyways, let me know what you all think in the comments below about this whole government trying to teach children about masculinity. They can't even teach themselves common fucking sense. Anyways, if there are any other videos you'd like to see me react to, please make sure to comment them down below or over on my Discord. I do have a channel over on Twitch that I stream to every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So please go and give me a follow over there and check me out. Links to my Twitch and other things are in the description below. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.